What's up, guys? It is Hot Wheels Tournaments coming at you with another moving parts case review. Now, this is a little bit different than most moving parts assortments. Today, we are looking at the 70th Years Special Edition set. And this is not a part of the model line for moving parts this year. This is its own separate special moving parts series. It's not a part of the 2023 collection, hence the different card art, different packaging. You'll notice they're numbered out of 5 instead of out of 54 as the others are this year. So slightly different, though. In the end, it still is moving parts. These have been popping up at like weird grocery stores and shops like that, but they get a different 70th anniversary deco than what we've been seeing. For the main line of moving parts, it has been silver with black and orange accents. This goes all orange with black accents. So we get 5 different models, as you can see here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at them 1 through 5. Let me get these in order here. All right, that's 2, that's 3, that's 5. That means this is 1. Ooh, that means we start off with the highlight. I'm going to try and cover. I've moved. Once again, I have moved, so I don't have an actual studio or all my old lighting still. I've just moved to a new apartment for my college, so, you know, new setting. I got to find a way to cover that up. I'm probably going to get like a giant white sheet I can put here in the future, but just a heads up for y'all. Let's go ahead and do this 1 through 5. No turntable today. I decided I'm going to try and do them by hand, see if that goes different. This is the 1980 Porsche 911. Now, the card art on these is spectacular. I don't collect stuff carded, but man, that looks good. I wish they did these as a poster at the convention this year. That watercolor painting looks great. You get the name of the model in cursive. I mean, it's just really pristine. You know, even compared to like what Hot Wheels does with their car culture stuff, this is some of the best card art I've ever seen personally. It is fantastic, and it looks so good. Almost makes me want to collect stuff carded, but I just don't have the space in my collection to do that. So this is the 80 Porsche 911. Now, this has been a moving parts staple since it came out. It was one of the first models ever, not one of the first models. I believe it debuted in either the end of the first year or the second year of the moving parts series. It has been a Gathering exclusive. We have seen it 3 times in premium, maybe more. No, 3 times, excuse me, in moving parts. Maybe in premium. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's gone premium outside of the Gathering. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. The only complaint I've ever had with this casting, which I have with a lot of moving parts, is they're a little bit big to other things. This is definitely big compared to other Porsche 911s and is definitely not the exact 1/64 scale others are. But that's just part of the moving parts thing, is sometimes models are big. We get these in a nice flat matte orange. You can see we get the iconic Porsche labeling on the side there for the Ducktail 911s. Momo and Bilstein sponsorships right there on the rear quarter with some nice white, silver, and black striping. That wing is made with the plastic from the inside of the interior. It just extends out. Always looks really good. Yeah, I mean, this has always been a fantastic model. I know it said it was big, but, you know, for the actual casting itself, the scaling and how everything looks, it looks incredible. Nice rear tail lights. You see on the right side, we don't get it there, but on the right side of this model, we get the Matchbox 70 Years logo. Falcon over the right front tire. Was that on the other side? Yes, it was. And then we get the logo on the hood with some headlights striping and the Matchbox logo. And this one just makes so much sense for this line. You want to do like a 70th racing deco. This is a car to do it on. A Porsche 911 makes so much sense. So we'll go ahead and put that in the back. That is a great one to start out with. Another casting that has gotten off to a very hot start appeared in moving parts. Or I guess, you know what? It was a Gathering model, but it wasn't the moving parts version. It was the basic version. So far we've seen it just twice in moving parts, right? Yes, we saw it in blue. And has it appeared again outside of this? Maybe we've only seen it once. Maybe we've only seen it in blue. And then I'm trying to remember. There was a C8 in Collector. I don't remember. I believe the Collector is moving parts. I believe the Matchbox Collector C8 was moving parts. Anyways, here it is. Another one that makes sense. Sports car. I don't think this orange is quite as suiting to the C8 as it is on the Porsche. It looks a little bit chunky. The blue version I thought was great, but for whatever reason, this car just looks awkward in orange. And the striping is it looks much better and subtler on this Porsche. The striping on this one is a little bit blocky and all over the place. But you can see we get the Corvette labeling. Go to the front, you get the headlights and the Corvette logo. And then if you go to the rear, you get the rear tail lights. And what does that say? Anniversary. Oh, nice. Love to see that. And then pop the rear. Take a look. Fully detailed engine. Very, very nice. So yeah, I really like this casting. It looks a little bit weird in orange, and I think the deco, it makes it look like a construction vehicle. Just with all the blocky striping. It worked a lot better on the Porsche. So this one's fine. You know, I like the orange chrome rims on this, or maybe not chrome, but the orange rims on this look really nice. The Porsche also had that. But yeah, all right, moving on to the next three. We've got the GMC Hummer EV. This was a new model as well last year, and this was a really well executed one as well. It was really well done. Maybe a little bit of a weirder choice for this line, just because, you know, a Hummer EV and, you know, racing deco doesn't make a ton of sense, but this is done a little bit more in just terms of like a construction style, and in which case for a Hummer that does make more sense. You get Hummer on the rear there, the 70th logo. I really like the way they did that striping on the side with the silver and the black. That looks good. All the cars in the set have orange rims, as you can see. Hummer across the grille. You can see this car, because it has an engine, an electric engine under the hood, is trunk space, and I always think that's so funny. Because I've always thought that was a great gimmick. I've always wanted to do like a supercar with a front opening hood, and it's like a rear engine supercar, and then the hood's just empty. I always think that's like kind of a funny thing, like almost like a joke almost. But yeah, the opening hood is great. Even if it shows nothing, you know, some people might not like that. I don't really care. That's cool. You can like put stuff in there. Probably fit like, you know, Lego pieces, like a Lego lightsaber in there, you know. Put like Luke Skywalker in the back, have him cruise around. Maybe some clone troopers, throw their guns up front. I don't know. You can do some fun stuff with that. But anyways, going to the rear, Hummer. Always love the way the exhausts come through the back on this from the base. There's a look at the base. Some people really care about base codes. I don't. I, you know, have never seen the importance. You can see when the year is made or if there's variations, but, you know, it's the part you're going to look at the car the least. Anyways, rear exhaust, it's not even, that's just like, I was thinking that was like tampered, but I think it's just like the orange paint from the rivet going through. But it almost looks like it's detailed down there. That's pretty funny. Taillights, yeah, this one's really, really solid. I like this one a lot. The gray release was fantastic. Nice to see this one appearing again. I think they can do some fun and cool things with this one. Maybe the only complaint, that windshield is way too dark on tint. I'm pretty sure you can see through this, if I remember correctly. But, I mean, that is way too dark. Maybe it is full plastic. Maybe it doesn't have an interior. It should. It has the plastic piece to have an interior. And that would be 1 on the base, 2 interior, 3. Yeah, that should be see-through. I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, way too dark. And if it's not, that's a shame. Because seeing on the interior on this car would be really nice. But outside of that, I've loved this casting. I think that's great execution on that. Next up, we get to, by far, what is the weirdest choice for this case, and been one of the biggest peg warmers when it comes to the line. Also, new model last year, the 2021 Mazda MX. I thought it was the MX-30, but there's no 30 there. Maybe they just wanted to call it MX. Anyways, 4 out of 5. I haven't been doing a good job of showing the car dark. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, how excited can you really get about, like, a Mazda SUV deal? I mean, it's a cool road-going car, and Matchbox does some of them. There's just, you know, I don't know. This is just, like, a weird one to do. It's not a particular, like, pretty road-going car either. So deciding to put it in the 50th anniversary is weird because, I mean, why should it have, like, a livery? I don't know. But as far as things go, it's got the opening hatch, which is always cool. This one has dogs in it, I believe. One sec, I gotta look closer. The hatch doesn't open super high up. Yeah, it's got or not dogs, but a dog lying down in the back. So that's always a neat detail. Yeah, flip it down. It's a Mazda CX, you know. Honestly, I like their like MX-5 casting better, or CX-5, whatever it's called. I can't keep them straight. I've always thought that one looked cooler. I think it's a little, you know, more interesting, but it's not moving parts, so it can't be in this. But yeah, I guess you got to release it a second time somewhere, and it kind of fell in here. It's definitely the least interesting and most boring of the 5, and, you know, yeah. Flat orange, matte orange, looks really weird on it. Taillights, logo, 70th anniversary logo on the side, relatively subdued. Nice grille detail, or front detail, but yeah, relatively subdued compared to everything else in this set. And then another one that makes a lot of sense for this set, the Ram ambulance. Matchbox obviously has a huge history of emergency vehicles, so for the anniversary set, makes sense to include. So yeah, that watercolor looks incredible. God, yeah, it is just so good. Let's take a look at this one. This one has been hugely popular, and it's gotten off to a very fast start. It was new last year in 2022, and then it was in the first wave of 2022, which was impossible to find. So the first edition of this, God, I'm butchering this packaging. The first edition of this costs like 30, 40 bucks on eBay already. I mean, it might even be more than that now, but it is hard to get. Good God, man. Why is it so hard to open? All right, there we go. Anyways, first edition was really hard to get. Second version came out in about 2 or 3 waves ago in moving parts. It also was the Everett Marshall charity model. You could get them in red and pink, so it's got a premium release. So off to a fast start, a hard to find version, another basic moving parts release, a premium Matchbox release, and now it appears in the 70th line. You can see emergency services ambulance on the side, 70th logo there. Just incredible detailing on all the paneling and the handles and all that around. Just so good to see. Doors, it's a little bit weird when they're like different colors because it feels like it should just be the same color, but I understand when these are plastic, it's probably going to be really hard to get them to match the matte orange, so I don't mind the gray in that it probably saved us. They aren't perfect looking, but it definitely saved us from like worse looking doors. Oh, also, this is about to release, or I guess it will have just released, as a collector's car in National Parks Deco. So yeah, this one is off to a hot start, and it's become a very fast classic. People love it. I mean, it's metal body, huge, got some weight to it. Metal base would be really nice. They're going to start doing that in their premium series. The collector's edition won't have a metal base, which is unfortunate. I wish it did, but if it did, man, that would be insane. Anyways, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. The only issue I've ever had with this casting, quite frankly, is getting these doors open. I have to imagine for kids, if they have this car, these doors are pretty easy to break off. My collection sits in, you know, cases, and I pull them out to look at them. I might open the doors, I might not, so, you know, I really don't know. But, man, am I struggling. I might just leave it. I just kind of want to show off the interior, man. But this video is going to be like 30 minutes long if I just go until I get these open. Good God, they got these like super glued shut. And it's not like big enough. Let's see if I get a like pen. Can I get these open with like a pen? Yeah. All right, that's a secret. Get like a pen or pencil. You stick it in that window. Pops right open. All right, do I have enough lighting? I don't have my like studio lighting behind me like I do at home. But you can see how great the interior is. It's fully detailed, not, you know, decoed or anything, but fully detailed in there, which is very nice. But yeah, and you flip it around, you can see the other side. Or does that have a license plate? I always like to read the license plate if there's one. No license plate on this one. Basically the same deco, just have a door on this side instead of all the paneling. So very nice there. Some silver striping. The black stripes look great. Taking from top all the way to the bottom to the 70th logo. Kind of draw your eye. 1310. I wonder what that could be a reference to. If these are Michael Heralda designed, a lot of times 1310 represents letters in the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So 13 and 10 would be MJ. Michael Jordan reference? Probably not. Michael Jackson reference? Probably not. I don't think any of those guys are noted Matchbox collectors. Probably just a random thing or referencing, El Segundo or Mattel in some way. But you pull it around to the front, you can see that plastic from the interior expands out to make the grille. Nice headlights, just great detailing, light bar on top. And yeah, you can see why this one is so popular. I'm not an emergency vehicles guy, but I gotta appreciate how great the Ram ambulance is. All said and done, I think the highlights are the two most popular moving parts models. The Porsche, I think this is fantastically executed. I mean, just the striping, so clean. It's already a classic moving parts casting, and you get a nice, 70th anniversary deco on it. It's not too busy. It's not trying to do too much. It doesn't, blind you or, confuse you. They keep it simple enough while doing some interesting things with it. The Corvette just doesn't look good in these colors. I also think the striping's not great. So this is probably the biggest disappointment. The Hummer, well done. I mean, this is just great. If it wasn't for two premier castings being in this would probably be the highlight. But, when you're going up against a Porsche 911 and a giant ambulance, that's some tough competition in the Matchbox world. The MX, or the NX, or CX, whatever the hell it's called, Mazda, it's just kind of here, I think it's just a place they probably could throw it in the lineup, and they knew it wouldn't peg warm because it peg warmed a ton last year. That one's fine. And then you get the ambulance, which is so good. So that's all for now. Tell me which one's your favorite. Let me know if you found these, because they're not popping up in Walmarts and Targets. Like I said, it's been grocery stores and, drug stores, weird little chains here and there. So keep your eyes peeled. They're appearing in massive shippers. They've been out for probably about a month now, but I assume they'll keep popping up here and there at stores throughout the year. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the Matchbox moving parts line. I review all the sets and cases because it is my favorite line in diecast right now, and I will see you all later. Peace.